Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Juan with Rested Life, here bringing you another review. This time, we're going to be reviewing the Alert caffeine gum produced by Wrigley's. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, first thing I'll say about this gum is that it is a gum with a purpose. A lot of different gum manufacturers have been adding different additives into their gum in order to increase their value. And Wrigley's, the makers of Five Star Gum, decided to jump on that bandwagon and add caffeine into their product. So, what are some of the features of this gum? So, first thing I'll say is that one piece of gum is equal to about half a cup of coffee. And just to illustrate, I'll show you about how big a piece of gum is. So this is what it looks like. This is what your Alert Energy gum is going to look like on the inside. As you can see, one piece of gum. If you take a pencil, for example, this is just a regular size pencil. It is really not much bigger than any other sized piece of gum. So, and yeah, as you saw, each pack includes 8 pieces of gum. So this gum really helps you stay awake with the caffeine. If you really think about it, half a cup of Joe per a piece of gum is a decent amount of caffeine, especially considering that the pieces of gum really aren't that big. When you think about it, a whole pack has 4 cups of coffee, and each pack sells for about $1.50. So let's quickly go over some of the pros of the Alert caffeine gum. So I will say the texture is good. The gum really does well when it comes to texture. It's not gooey. It's not too tough. Like to me, I think it's called double bubble is way too tough. I like the flavor, but it's just way too tough. And a few other gums just make the mistake of being too gooey. For me, texture in a gum is absolutely important. You don't want it to feel like it's melting in your mouth. It's horrible. In terms of how fast it takes for the caffeine to kick in general, it's very much similar to coffee, which for coffee, I believe it's about, you start feeling some of the effects after 15 minutes, and you feel the whole thing full on after 45 minutes or so. You can read more about that on my website, where I go a little bit more in depth about that. And I will say, I mean, the gum gets the job done, really. It really is nice to have a source of caffeine in your car or in any other place where perhaps you wouldn't be able to have a cup of coffee in for your caffeine needs. Now, some of the cons. I will say the taste really isn't the best taste out there for a lot of gums. It is pretty bitter, especially the first time you're trying it out, because I think the first time you try it out, for me personally, perhaps naively, I was expecting the gum to taste good, despite having, the crazy amounts of caffeine that it has. So I put it in my mouth and I tried it, and to my surprise, it was very bitter. The best way to describe the taste is you take a piece of any other mint gum and you put a little bit of the Goodies anti-headache powder. Yeah, that's basically what it tastes like. It's kind of a basic taste, and the reason is because of the amine groups on the caffeine. But anyways, that's my chemistry side coming out. But yes, in addition to that, another con is that it is not available in all states yet. Right now, I'm living in Houston, and basically all the different gas stations that I've had and different stores that I've checked out, even Walmart, I haven't been able to find it. So if you live in a city like that, the only way to get it would be online, which really isn't much of a problem for most people nowadays. So that being said, I will go ahead and try out the gum. So another thing I'll say is that after you've had the gum multiple times in the past, I actually personally am at the point where I really don't mind the flavor and I actually kind of enjoy it, especially because of the fact that when you're starting to drive, when you're feeling drowsy or you're in that meeting and you just can't stay awake, if the fact that you're chewing gum doesn't start to kind of give you a bit of a, you know, pick me up kind of feeling, the bad taste will. So I guess that's a bit of a hidden benefit of the bad taste of the gum. I don't know. And for me personally, when I buy these kinds of gum, um, I buy it for the purpose of helping me stay awake. So I'm really not looking for something that tastes like amazing or anything like that. But you know, to each his own. So yeah, chewing the gum here. Like I said, texture is great. You got actually little bubbles with this gum. Uh, and yeah, overall, I'd say I'm pretty satisfied with this product, the Alert Caffeine Gum. And actually, to the point where I actually bought a big pack because what I do now is I keep a keep a pack in my car in the passenger seat so that whenever I know it's late and I'm not, gonna be able to make it without struggling to stay awake, I just open up the passenger seat, pop in a piece before I start driving, and then by the time I normally get sleepy, I'm wide awake. And it really works out really well during meetings when you don't have time or you don't have access to get up and get yourself a cup of coffee, or maybe it's, it would have been your third cup of coffee in the day. One of these gets the job done. Uh, So no, yeah, it's great. It's a great product. Definitely recommend it for a lot of people out of there. But as I said, beware. The taste might not be very good, especially if it'll be your first couple times trying it out. So yeah, that being said, hope you enjoyed the review. This has been Juan with Rested Life. Like I said, if you want to learn more about the gum, this was just a quick, brief overview of the product. Please check out my full in-depth review at restedlife.com. So that being said, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Stay rested.